Let's give you our final take here for Tennessee, Alabama. Third Saturday in October is going to be a movie, as it always is. Someone's going to be puffing cigar smoke after this thing ends. It's going to be awesome. But we've already given you our preview, already given you our prediction, full game breakdown on this game already. Want to give you a final take for both Bama and Tennessee in this one. So if you're a Tennessee fan or a Bama fan, make sure you're subscribed. Both of y'all as fan bases have done a phenomenal job being dialed in here and by being subscribed. But if you haven't already, no time about the present to get locked into all things we're doing here on the On3 YouTube channel, on this show, The Hard Count. So thank you in advance for that. But let's start with Alabama. This is going to be, I believe, the most complex test you've had as a defense to this point in the year, because you've played a couple of offenses that run the ball at a high level. Played the best rushing offense, I believe, or one of the best rushing offenses, at least in the SEC, in Missouri a week ago. Did a great job against that running back. Played a physical outfit up front against Georgia. But I think the way that Tennessee is going to attack you, they want to run the football first. It's pretty much how Josh Heupel gets down, top 3 rushing offense in the SEC. But on the flip side of that, they want to bomb you. They want to run the football, command attention in the box, isolate you on the perimeter, and then take shots deep. The thing with Joey Aguilar, man, he doesn't need a whole lot of space to pull the trigger. Like, whether they connect or not is one part of this, but if you're in the secondary for Alabama, you better pack a lunch, because Joey Aguilar is going to throw at you, regardless of what the numbers say, regardless of what the look is during the week, regardless of how you align. Like, he is going to pull the trigger and let his guys go try and eat against that secondary. So for the secondary now, this is something I'm watching here. Damani Jackson, going into the season, a player that all of us were excited about across the college football public. Hand up, he was on my preseason all-SEC ballot when it came to the defensive side of things. And that may still end up being the case for him. But against Missouri, Alabama gave Dijon Lee a little bit more burn as that game wore on. Said he was doing some things and playing better, ultimately, if reading between the lines here, in that game. Does that carry over to this spot when it comes to the flow of the game? Like, I'm not questioning if it's a thing where Damani Jackson gets more snaps at the beginning of this thing. I mean, if that doesn't go how it goes in the first half, so be it. But I think throwing a true freshman in Dijon Lee into third Saturday against that defense, that'd be something I'm really curious to see tested against this Tennessee offense. All right, now he's a little bit more rangy as Dijon Lee, but that's something to just keep an eye out here if you're an Alabama fan, or if you're a Tennessee fan, quite frankly. But when it comes to how Alabama could defend Tennessee, I just want to make sure this is out there. Quick strike Tennessee is what scares me. That's where I get nervous if I'm Ty Simpson and Kalen DeBoer and company. Because at that point, then, we have to maybe press a little bit more with how we're calling our offense. We can't run the football quite as much as maybe we wanted to from the onset. If Tennessee's in a spot where they're putting 8 to 10 play drives together and they're grinding the clock and they're finding a way to get in the end zone, that'd be a little bit more uncharacteristic of Tennessee. But isn't that sort of the point here? Not that Tennessee can't run the football, but if they have drives that are a little bit more elongated, I think that's advantage Alabama, because I don't question Ty Simpson and that receiving core and their ability to get theirs and flip that on its head and put pressure on Joey Aguilar. I feel a little bit more uneasy if I'm Alabama, where Tennessee answers with a 2-3 play drive and bada bing, bada boom, we're right back out there if we're Ty Simpson and the offense. So the point in all this, the test for this game, to me, is on the secondary. Fill and run support, obviously. You have to make sure they don't just gash you play after play. But I think that if they can hold their own on the back end, maybe not win every rep, maybe it's not a thing where Alabama just totally shuts down the passing game of Tennessee, but if it keeps from being a game where it becomes, Joey Aguilar throwing for 400 and they're just doing what they did against Georgia, if you can keep that from happening, I feel pretty good about Bama's chances. Now for Tennessee, it's funny because I'm saying I want to see Alabama force Tennessee to have elongated drives, and that point still holds when I talk about Tennessee. But for Tennessee, the importance for them is on the ground, because how do you become quick strike Tennessee as an offense? You run the football at a high level. You do what you did against Alabama in 2022 and force Alabama into some matchups they don't want to have on the back end, and then you take advantage of those. Like Tennessee as an offense, if you've watched them before as a college football fan, if you haven't yet, watch them this weekend, but Tennessee fans, they know they're not a situation where they roll out their first play and just huck it deep every time. Like, they work up to those explosive plays. They'll run the football. They'll have some intermediate passing game. The running game sets the table for what they want to do when it comes to those shot plays downfield. So if you want to be quick strike Tennessee, you got to have success in the run game early. I'm talking like 4 or 5 yards of carry success. That in itself creates a lot more plays downfield because those safeties at that point in time have to honor what you're doing in the run game. The overhang player has to find a way to add it in the run game. And when that happens now, Mike Matthews, go eat. Chris Brazzell, go eat. All that and a bag of chips for what the Tennessee offense wants to do. It starts on the ground. Number 3 rushing offense in the SEC. 200-plus rushing yards a game right now. That would get you a win, in my opinion, when it comes to this game, if you can run for over 2 bills. But remains to be seen, and I cannot wait to watch this one. But those are my final takes for both sides of third Saturday in October. Let me know your final takes, though. In the comment section also, Instagram, Twitter, at JD PicKell. A lot of y'all have followed me on there, so we appreciate y'all for that. A great way for us to interact and also react in real time to what's going on Saturdays. But Cato on the 1s and 2s, myself, JD PicKell, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.